The Khajiit is here! The Khajiit is here! Let's get something done!
I'm on the next level, yeah. 절대적으로를 지켜 내 손을 놓지 마라. 결속은 나의 무기. 광야로 걸어가. 알아 내 home ground. 위협에 맞서서 지켜라, 지켜라, 지켜라. 상상도 못한 blackout. You all can keep going. Too hot, too hot. 잡은 손을 놓자 난 절대 포기 못해 I'm on the next level 저 너머의 문을 열어 next level 널 결국엔 내가 부셔 next level 코스모에 탈 때까지 next level 지켜라 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 라라라라라라 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 La 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 la. I see the new evo. 적대적인 고난과 슬픔. 널 덮아 진화시켜. That's my now this is my now this. You lead we follow. 감정들을 배운다. Watch me while I make it out. Watch me while I work it out. Watch me while I make it out. Watch me while I work it out. Work it, work it, work it out.
Alright guys, this is our DragonKnight. No CP, battlegrounds tank. 3 procs, 1 hit. Now, we'll go over the stats real quick. First off, no championship build, so we have no champion points in. So these are the actual battleground stats. We put 64 on stamina, just because we need a block, we need a bit of stamina. See, our max stamina is only at 24, our max health 32 though. It's not too bad, but maintaining stamina is the hardest part of this build. So we do rely on our heavy attacks, our dubious throne, and our stamina potions. We are the warrior for the extra weapon damage. Now, you can go to the penetration if you want, but the reason we went weapon damage was because the new patch coming out in 2.5 weeks, you're going to need a certain amount of weapon damage to get these sets to proc. Now I believe the 3.7k weapon damage will be enough anyway. As you can see, when we actually swap over to our front bar, jumps up to 4.3, and if we buff up, it goes all the way up to 5.2. So it's going to be more than enough to proc these sets even after the patch. So that's one less thing we have to worry about. So we probably could afford to put the warrior, change that to the lover for the penetration, give you some penetration. Although having that little bit of penetration is probably not going to be enough to take out tanks anyway. So we're just stuck with straight weapon damage. We seem to have more success with the straight weapon damage anyway. Alright, let's get into it. So the first thing we are running is the Basharan's Greatsword. Now, we do have the poisons on it, because we want to increase our victim's stamina cost, so they run out of stamina more easily. But basically, this weapon is when you have momentum active, which you should be doing automatically anyway. And then when casting stamina abilities, which this is a stamina build, so we're going to be doing that anyway, we get stacks. And you only need 5 stacks while momentum is up. And when you do this, if you do a heavy attack, it'll do 10k damage. We're sitting at 9k damage. Alright, so we put our rally up. You see there we've got 18 seconds of rally. Now we can refresh this, and it'll restart again. We get another 18 seconds. and another 18 seconds. And you can see that it is counting, and that is building up our stacks. There we go. The little X at the end there, now we're at 3 stacks. We can change bar, we still get to keep them. We can just put Bone Shield on, that counts, that's a stamina ability. Now we're at 4 stacks. Put Bone Shield on again, now we're at 5 stacks. We can turn back, we can turn around, we can hit this guy, and we're going to do the 10k damage. He does have his thing on though. Alright, sorry Frank. Alright, so that's the first one. Now that is the hardest one to do, but as you can see it is sort of easy. You have to be in combat, so doing this is not going to get us anywhere. We do have to be in combat, so you need either them to hit you or you to hit them. And now it's going to start counting. There's 1. There's 2 stacks. 3 stacks. Just to show you guys, we can buff up. That's not going to count because those are Magicka. 4 stacks. 5 stacks. And there we go. Now we've got a 10k hit with a heavy attack next time we hit somebody. Let's go into the next set. The reason we're out here with the zombies, we decided to name every zombie Frank, is we have Delamish's Curse is our first set. Both sets are heavy armor, so whatever 5 pieces you can get. This one will give us our max health, a bit of weapon damage, and when usually a fully charged heavy attack on an enemy that is stunned or feared or immobilized is the one we usually hit them with, we'll do another 12k damage. This effect can happen every 4 seconds, so it's a very fast cooldown. Alright, so we'll get into that one more in a little bit. The other 5 set piece we have is Explosive Rebuke. This one is from Fanglair, I believe. And this one's from the Vestara arena. So both sets are pretty hard to obtain. This was also from the Vestara arena. We only got the normal, we haven't got the master weapon. So if you get the master weapon, I think you get an extra line of penetration, which would be really nice. Or weapon damage, whichever one it is, both really nice. So this one is when you successfully block, you put a bomb on the enemy for 10 seconds, and when they're hit with a fully charged heavy attack, they blow up for 13k. So we've got 13k there, 12k here, and an extra 9k here. Alright, and they're all fairly easy to do. Just heal back up so we don't die from a zombie. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is do your rally. Now, we can use rally, you've seen us do it, and start gaining some stacks. So we're just staying defensive, building up our stacks. We're going to refresh rally for our last stack, so we've got the full duration. Alright, now we're good to go. Now all we're going to do is block an attack, and that puts the bomb on them. Hit them with the immobilize, and they're gone. Doesn't even look like the bomb exploded. This zombie isn't back yet. Let's use these zombies. Now there's a few things we need to take into consideration. First off, when you immobilize somebody, they're going to break free. But this one has a double immobilize, so they break free of the first one, and then they're still immobilized for the second one, so you can hit them in there. So when we usually get into combat, we usually immobilize them first. That's going to drain their stamina, because they have to break out of that twice. And while they're breaking out of that, we will build our dots up. Now this one isn't so important. This is more of a, if I happen to have the 5 stacks and I get it off and it works, it works. Usually we just block, we get their bomb on them, we immobilize them, and we just hit them with a double hitter. And you can do the maths, you can figure all that out. It's about by the time you add in the glyph and the heavy attack itself, you're looking at about a 40k hit. So if you get an archer or a healer, it's going to annihilate them. Like I said though, keeping your stamina up is a bit of a problem. I didn't do a video last week because I was farming these sets. The sets are pretty hard to obtain. This combo is not the easiest to get out on people, but it is very plausible. You can actually do it. It's not that hard. But to get all three and then immobilize them and then actually get the heavy attack on them before they break free, it can be a bit of a challenge, but it's extremely fun. It's extremely funny when you do get it on people, and it's lag free, so even if you lag you can still get this combo out on people, and it's just a good way to give you guys a chance. For you guys out there who are struggling, we do have the the big ult on the back bar. Oh, that's on our front bar there. So if we are fighting a tank who, you know, we'll use that so we ignore their resistances. And we have Dragon Leap on the front bar, so you will see in the highlights there, sometimes we don't quite get them. So if we hit them and they survive, we hit them immediately, we'll do the execute. If that still doesn't kill them, then we hit them with the Dragon Leap. Alright, GG guys. We'll just go over the sets real quick and where they're from. Now the great thing about this guy is you can use him to tank. So he's a good addition to any roster because you can come on, you can do a random normal with him, you can tank a random normal, and then you go do your random battleground and get all those, you know, that double loads of XP for all you guys out there who love to do your random normals. This is a great tank, and because you're always blocking as a tank, that heavy attack is going to explode whether you do it or not. So that's happened quite a few times to me. You'll block an attack, and this one's every 8 seconds, so it's a pretty fast cooldown too. When they're hit with a fully charged heavy attack, so it doesn't have to be you. If someone's hitting them with a lightning staff and you block an attack, it's going to blow up instantly. This character would be really effective if you have a friend who plays an Ice Warden, or maybe Talon spamming DragonKnight would really complement this guy. He could be very dangerous if working the tag team. You could obviously go Werewolf for the heavy attack, but the heavy attack werewolves are very, very slow. Alright, if you do have trouble obtaining these sets, another set you could perhaps consider is Ember Shield from City of Ash, which when you complete the fully charged heavy attack, you increase your resistances. That's good for a tank, and you do an extra 800 flame damage. Again, so it's more explosion damage, because that other one is 10k to everyone in the area. This one will add another 800. Anyway, I believe it is Fanglair. No. What's that one? Scale Caller, there it is. So Scale Caller for your Cursed Delamouche. It is heavy, so whatever 5 pieces you can get. I think we got the jewellery. And all the rest come from Bash Out and Hellos. Which, what do we, so you only get an extra line of stamina, which is nice, not the end of the world though. So there's nothing wrong, just get the normal weapon. See, I haven't been in there too much, but I still managed to get the armor pieces drop quite regularly in there. So we got 5 pieces of that as well. And that's it guys. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. See, we put the noon trade on it. And that's basically it. We used critical response on the back bar, sword and shield, just to give us an extra line of critical while we're in tank mode or blocking. We did change all these traits to stam, the enchantments. For some reason it didn't work as well. I'm not too sure why, so we just changed it back to health, which they come in health traits, so just leave them at that. We've got all impent infused on the chest, infused on the pants. Everything else is impent, sturdy on the hands. It's just the trait I've managed to pick it up in, so we just left it at that. And impent. We've got all infused weapon damage on the jewellery, as this will buff our damage the procs actually do, and make sure we're over that weapon damage limit for the next patch. I believe that's it. As we saw earlier, we are using the Dubious Cameron Throne for the extra stamina recovery. No champion points. We've got Bone Shield on our back bar, our tank bar, because it's a stamina skill, so we can use that to proc up our stacks. Our wings, just for that snares and immobilization. Obviously, Hardened Ward, our physical resistance. We always use Ignis Shield and then Resolve Bigger, so that buffs up the amount of healing you get, and then you do your heal, so it's just going to buff up your Vigor, and the amount of heal you actually get out of your Vigor. So you're increasing your healing done by 16%. Boom. So they're always right next to each other. Beautiful combo. Of course, our Dragon Leap, that's another 14k damage in case they survive all the other crap we just did to them. Although you won't get the stun because you just stun them with your immobilize. Crit Rush, just for a gap closer, just so when you're chasing people down. Cleave, of course, this will drain your stamina pretty quick though, but it does give you that damage shield, so it's nice survivability. Execute, obvious reasons. Use Fossilize because it stuns them for 3 seconds, and then once they break out of that, they're immobilized for another 3 seconds, so that gives you enough time to hit them with the heavy attack, hopefully. If not, you did drain their stamina because they had to break out twice, and then you just reset, stack it up again, and try and hit them with it again. And Rally, of course, because it gives us the extra 20% weapon damage, gives us a heal, and it's what we need to proc our main weapon. Corrosive Armor, just for, you can use it as a tanking ultimate to help you survive longer. We mainly use it because it ignores enemies' physical resistance, so we can proc that and then hit them with the combos to try and get rid of the tankier opponents. GG.